Okay, so I'm just going to start with our agenda. I'm going to welcome everyone, tell you a little bit about Housing Colorado, tell you a little bit about the staff, folks that you would want to reach out if you have specific questions about sponsorships, about specific committees, etc. Um, I'll go through some of the member benefits. I firmly believe as the membership manager that everyone gets a little bit different value out of being a member of Housing Colorado. So I'll discuss kind of what I always find are some of the heaviest hitters. And if you have questions or you want to connect with me further, please feel free to do so. And I'm happy to help you get the most out of your membership. That's definitely what we're looking for here. I'll also go over some of our upcoming events as well as our biggest events of the year, especially if you're looking for sponsorship or networking opportunities. Um, we'll go over those, how to find those, and things like that. So, who are we? Chances are, if you've joined Housing Colorado, which you have because you're here, you've done a little bit of research about the organization. So, we serve in a couple different capacities. We work with lobbying at the Capitol and legislation. We largely work as a connector for those within the housing industry. So, we're happy to provide folks with connections via education, resources, networking experience, and things like that. So we operate fully on the idea that every Coloradan should have a safe, healthy, quality, affordable home in a thriving community. Um, Everything that we do and the work that we put in revolves from that foundation. We also are a member organization, as you know, and I believe that our success comes from our members. So we have quite a small staff. Of course, you know me. I am the membership and communications manager. You may have seen Brian Rossbert out and about. He is our executive director, and he works largely with our advocacy and legislative work. Um, and then Mary Jane Jarvis, she also goes by MJ, does our conference and events. So if you are interested in working with us to host an event, if you're working on submitting a conference workshop RFP, if you have interest in sponsoring any events in the future, MJ would be the person that you would want to talk to. And I'm happy to give you connections to these folks if you have follow-ups that you would like to pursue with them. So I'm going to start with the basics. Everything that you need, you should be able to find on our website. So let me go ahead and go over here. Switch my screen share. Okay. Can you see the website all right? Yes. Okay, perfect. So when you come to our homepage, this is what you'll find. It's just the Housing Colorado. I'm going to start with signing in. So you should have a member login and password. If you don't have that, please feel free to send me an email and I can get that information to you. Part of the member benefit is that every employee in your organization who would like a login to access these benefits will have access. So if you need someone if you have someone who needs a login, send them my way, or just go ahead and send me their name and email address, and I can set them up with a username and password so that they can access these as well. So to sign in, you're just going to go up here to the top, go ahead and click the sign in button. I have these autofill just because I have signed in a couple times before, but you will enter your username and password. Usually I use your email address as your username, just because it's easy to remember. Go ahead and click sign in. And once you are into the website, it unlocks a couple of things. So you are able to access discounted and free member events as part of your Housing Colorado membership, you can also join committees and make purchases at a discount. So I'm going to start with the events. This does include our annual conference, which I will talk a little bit more. Once you're signed in, you can go ahead and go to our event calendar. And if you had an interest in an event, it will have you registered for this one, we'll have a little registration button. We do provide members only and member discounts, and you do need to be signed in to access those. If for some reason you're having trouble and it will only give you the regular pricing, you can either reach out to me, or if for some reason you pay the full price but need a refund, we can work with you on that as well. So another thing that you can access when you are signed in is our job board. To reach our job board, you just go up to this resources tab, go ahead and click job opportunities and RFPs, and you will find our updated list of job postings. So this is really great. Some organizations are constantly sending us postings to include on our job board. Some organizations only send us if they have one or two that they really want to get out to our membership specifically. Anyone can view this page, but only members can post on the job board. So to submit a job posting, you can do two things. You can send me an email with the information, or you can go ahead and click the job posting form link, fill this out, click submit. It comes directly to me, and if I have any questions, I will just reach out and follow up. Okay. Let me go back to my presentation. So I briefly covered the conference discount. It is pretty significant. I believe it's $150-ish, maybe $100 per person for member discount. We also offer membership rates on our sponsorships. So we are getting ready to start launching things for our conference. To find information about this is definitely our largest event of the year. You can, on our website, we have our conference tab, and then we have everything else you will need. So sponsorship information, FAQs, the schedule, and then just our general conference page. So as we get closer to the conference, and that will be October 9th through 11th, held in Keystone, we will have a lot more information. We'll start posting keynote speakers, sponsors, additional information about food and lodging, and everything that you might need to know. So if you have any questions about the conference, please feel free to reach out to me or to Mary Jane Jarvis, our conference and events manager. We are launching our request for workshop RFPs today, so if that's something you're interested in, keep an eye out for that. On the note of communications, I do share a monthly newsletter through Housing Colorado. If you are not part of that email list, but you would like to be, go ahead and send me an email. It includes upcoming events, it includes news in the housing industry. You do have the ability to send me information as a member, and I can post it in our resources for our partners section. So we have had folks post important jobs that they really want to be filled. We've had folks post big events or celebrations, just information of note that they want to share with the industry. So if that's something that you're interested in, please let me know. I do also like to provide new members with an opportunity to, oh, I'm sorry, I'm just reading this. Can you see the screen okay? I got a message from Heidi saying, okay, perfect. Let me know if that changes, and I'll make sure that you're seeing the right page, because sometimes Zoom can be the enemy. So
It's showing your PowerPoint presentation, but when you went to the Housing Colorado website and we're like going to job board and stuff, mine wasn't showing that. It was still showing your PowerPoint presentation.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was communicating. I can see it fine now, your presentation.
Okay. It's on the presentation now.
Yes.
Okay. Um, let me see. I do want to. Okay, this is what happened. All right. I switched it over correctly, I believe now. How about this? Can you see the conference webpage? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I had it set to presentation or to the PowerPoint and not to my second screen. So then let me re-point out really quickly since you actually did not see this. Resources, here's our job board. And here are all of our open positions. We leave them open for 30 days if they're open until filled, and then we close them out. If you need to repost them, just reach out to me. Right here is the link to post. I apologize that you actually did not see any of this. So here's what it looks like. If you have a hard time finding this, you can always just send me the name, organization, and the link to the posting or the link to the document. For the conference tab, go ahead and click on that. This will show you all of the conference information that you need. So I believe that is all you need for now, but right here on this tab is where more information will appear about lodging, registration, etc. once we get those a little bit closer. And then I did want to show you in case any of you have an interest in sponsoring any events. We have quite a few folks that we work with, and they range from really large organizations, Wells Fargo, to smaller consultancy groups who are interested in supporting certain events or just getting their names out there, etc. So this is what our main sponsor page looks like. We do have a storefront for the conference that you can access here. If you have questions about sponsorship, it would definitely be best to reach out to MJ. I don't work with sponsors as much until the conference itself. So I'm going to pause here. Does anyone have any questions about anything I've covered so far? Anything about conference, events, the job board, etc. Okay, great. So I believe this is what I was saying before I got sidetracked by having the wrong page up. If any of you have an interest in being featured in our newsletter as part of our new member feature, we would be happy to do that. You don't necessarily need to be brand new. It's something that I have recently started doing this past year, is just featuring one of our members per week. And I feel like it's a great way, not only for me to get to know our members a little bit better and to be able to serve you a little bit better, but to be able to make sure that you're making the connections that you want to be making and that you're getting the word out about who you are and what you do. I think a lot of the times that's why people join Housing Colorado. So if you have an interest in that, go ahead and send me an email and I'm happy to work with you. We usually run a feature with a couple pictures, a logo, and a small blurb of what you're working on, and then some contact information. So I believe the last big part of membership that I would consider one of the main benefits is member committees. This is a great way to kind of connect with folks on a little bit deeper level. It ranges from smaller committees. I personally oversee the Young Professionals Committee, and we meet 4 times a year, and we focus mostly on smaller events, some educational, some networking, but we do have things like our conference committee who works with voting on which education to bring into the conference. And that sort of thing. So if you have an interest in kind of diving a little bit deeper into Housing Colorado and what we do, we do have different committees that may be of interest. And I'm going to actually stick this in the chat so that you can take a look later. Oh, that was directly to you, Heidi. I'm sending it to everyone. Give me just 1 minute. So we have a link on here that will just lead you to a Survey Monkey that basically says, do you have an interest in joining? And then you just fill out a very brief, check some boxes, and then we can let you know if we have opening on that committee. We're always looking for folks who are interested in helping us out, and we definitely run on volunteer efforts, both for our events and for big things like conference. So I'm going to just kind of very slowly scroll through here so you can get an idea of what we offer in terms of committees. Some of them are very niche, our legislative committee, DEI committee, and then some of them are more broad, like our education committee. All right, let's go back over to slideshow. So I believe we have covered everything on here. The last thing I'm going to mention is just that as a part of Housing Colorado, you have access to everyone else who is a member of Housing Colorado. I firmly believe that a really great way to make connections is to do so in person. But we also understand that it's hard sometimes to make it to events, to work around timing or your own busy schedules. And so if that's the case, if you have something specific you are looking for as a member of Housing Colorado, specific connections you want to make, you know, if you're looking to meet with contractors or developers, or someone who works in finances, please reach out to us. We are happy to help you make the connections that you're looking for. So our executive director, Brian, is an excellent source for this. He knows probably more people now than I ever will in my whole life. He's constantly shaking hands. He's very boots on the ground, working hard at the Capitol, working hard with leaders, not only in our industry, but across the state. So if you ever need anything from us, please reach out and we will help you make those connections. It's important to us that you get the value out of being part of Housing Colorado. So I showed you how to access the event calendar. If you missed that, I believe it's just housingcolorado.org/events. But we do have an event tab that you can access, and I will send out links to these after just so that you don't have to keep them all square in your head. I just wanted to bring up some important dates. So the February 22nd date is what I would consider our big kind of opening event for the year. It is a forum with a state demographer that will be really interesting. It's the first of its kind that we have done. And then we have our two big events. So at the end of May, we will be hosting our Eagle Awards ceremony. If you're not familiar with it, it's where we honor the people, programs, and places who have made a big difference in the housing industry over the past year. It's wonderful. We usually get a couple hundred folks, and they tend to be leaders in the industry who are being recognized for their work. It's one of my favorite events. It's a little bit more dressy. It's our version of a gala, I would say. And then of course we have our Housing Colorado conference. So that is always mid-October. Historically it has been held in the mountain towns of Colorado. We are exploring some other places in the future, but for now, this year's will be held in Keystone as well as the next few years. We usually get about 1,000 people who register for the conference, so that is a really great place. If you can only make one thing, I always try and shoot for the conference. Registration will open in July. And if you do have an interest in attending, I would recommend signing up sooner rather than later, just because it has become more popular and usually sells out in a couple of weeks. So our conference is broken down into keynote sessions during meal times, and then it is supplemented by smaller workshops, and they range from tax credits to current legislation, to, I believe last year we had one that focused on renters' rights in terms of pets and pet ownership. If you would like to submit a workshop RFP, please do so. This is our conference runs on our membership basically. So if you have any questions about conference, please reach out to me. As I said, we will be including more information on the website in the coming weeks and months, and then registration always opens for that in July. Okay, you should have my email just because I sent out a quick note before you go, and I will be sending out a follow-up. I love getting to know our members, so if you ever would like to meet for coffee or lunch, or just a quick Zoom meeting to talk about what your needs are, what you're looking for, events that you might be interested in. I have a good idea of our event calendar for the year. If you identify a gap that we need to fill, we would love to know that as well. I'm just going to open it up just a minute for questions. And again, thank you for coming. I will send out a follow-up email with all this information because I know it was quite a bit. We appreciate you joining Housing Colorado and being part of our organization.
Thank you so much. Very appreciative.
Thank you, Miranda.
You're very welcome.
Thanks.